Hi guys, this is going to be a video about what's called the greater than or the less than symbol, okay, which is actually a piece of algebra. I'll introduce you to that in a minute and how that symbol works. It's a symbol like an adding symbol or a taking away or a multiplying symbol or an equal symbol. And therefore, it is a little bit of algebra really. It shows which number is bigger or which number is smaller depending on the way it's facing. Okay, I'll go into that in more detail. I've listed some things here. It's a little bit different. It's not a success criteria. I'm going to talk you through some points now for you to be wary about when doing your work. Okay, you need to be aware of place value. I'll talk about that more. You need to think about this negative number questions as well that are going to come up. So I'll talk to you a little bit about how negative numbers work. You need to be aware of fractions, just a little bit of fraction knowledge, and I'll talk about that. And you might need to make links, especially if you're doing the trickiest work, okay? So let's talk through the symbol first of all. I've drawn a little picture of how we remember it. So you might see the more than less than symbol like this. So you might have a 5 and a 7, say. And then depending on what number is bigger, you draw your symbol. And the symbol shows you which one is bigger by it being drawn like this. This means that the 7's bigger. So it's like this. And the way we remember which way the symbol goes is we always say it looks a little bit like a crocodile with teeth. And crocodiles only want to eat the biggest meal. So there's my crocodile. So it always faces that way. So I'll show you again. So if I had 10 here and 3 here, and I was drawing my symbol in to show which number is bigger, I would draw it this way because it wants to eat the bigger food. And here it is. Here's my crocodile. Okay, so the crocodile, the more than, the greater than or less than symbol, always opens the way that always opens to eat the bigger meal. So you can see it's here, okay? So you need to remember that because that's obviously going to be important. I'll just do another example for you. So if I had 21 here and 11 here, again, it'd be open that way because it wants to have the bigger meal. Okay, so keep on thinking about that. Now I'm going to run through some more examples with you and link it back to the things I said to remember about here. So hopefully you should know how the symbol works now. So let's have a think about this. Now I'm going to flip this over because we need to think a little bit about place value. Now, if we remember, our number system is all based around places. So we have a units column, and that means that that is just 4. We have a tens column, don't we? So if I put another 4 in, that actually means that that number is 40, doesn't it? And then if I put another number in, so into the 100 columns, that means that this number was actually 400. And that's how our number system works. Okay, and it's really important we remember that because you're going to be asked using the greater than, less than symbol to show which numbers are bigger. So a little example might be this. You might have 99, which 9 is big. The 2 9s are really big. And then you might have 101. And some children might think, well, that number looks really big because it's got 2 9s in. And this number must be small because it's got 3 1s in. This number, we should realise, is bigger because there is a number in the hundreds column. And this doesn't have a number in the hundreds column. So when I introduce my more than, my greater than or less than symbol, I draw it like this with the mouth facing this way because this is the bigger number. So this is the way my crocodile wants to face if it wants to eat its dinner, okay? So just be aware of that place value because, you know, there are going to be tricky numbers that might like be 4-digit numbers like this. Okay, which look almost really, let's make that like that, which look almost really similar. And if you're not looking, if you're not using your noticing learning powers, you might make a silly mistake. Okay, you might think, oh, look at this one, it's got, yeah, but it would want to eat this number because it's got a 2 in the thousands column. So place value is something to be aware of. Make sure you are using your place value. Then I think the next thing I talk about, let's have a quick reminder, is negative numbers. Now, there might be some on the trickier, some negative numbers. Now, let's draw a quick number line. And this is 0. Remember, we get negative numbers in temperature. If the temperature drops below 0, we'd get -1, -2, -3, oh, it's very cold. -4. And then on this side, we'd have our normal temperatures. 1, 2, 3, 4 degrees, yeah? Now, the thing I want to make the point about here is we need to be aware that -1 is actually a bigger, higher number than -4. So if you've got negative numbers coming up, you might have something like this. And you've got to draw your more than less than sign. And it would be like -4 or -1. Now, I reckon 90% of children would just instantly do this. But look at our number line. That's not right. That -4 is below -1. So actually, when it's negative numbers, -4, -1 or negative, it'd go that way. That is the bigger number, okay? It's really important. So that's the way our crocodile would go if it was eating its food. And again, you might have something like this, -27, 0. And again, I think most children would be like, oh, the crocodile wants to eat the -27. No, not at all. You'd want to have the 0, okay? It's further on, it's higher up, okay? Now, the next thing I wanted to talk to you about is fractions. Now, again, if you're doing the trickier questions, there might be some fractions in there. I have done questions like this. 4 1/2 or 2 1/4. Now, what I need you to remember is to try and imagine what 1/2 and 1/4 looks like. So let's say that here's a pizza and here's another pizza. And this is all fractions. So this number shows there's 4 pizzas, and this bit here, this fraction shows there's half a pizza. Now, you need to imagine, you need to use your imagining learning power when doing fractions, because we're always talking about it as less than a whole. So I've got 4 whole pizzas, but a half. So let's imagine what a half a pizza looks like. That's half a pizza. Now, a quarter of a pizza. Now, the 4 shows that the pizza's been cut into 4, and there's only 1 available. So there's a half, there's a quarter. So again, I'm asking you, I'm going to rub that out to make it a little bit clearer. I'm asking you, what's smaller, what's bigger? And you can see here that the half is definitely bigger than the quarter. So the greater than less than sign would definitely go this way. It definitely want to eat the 4 1/2 as opposed to a 4 1/4. Okay, hope that's nice and easy. And then, what did we say? You might need to make links. Yes, because the trickiest questions, I may have done like this. 42 plus 21. And then done, let's go 6 times 12. And it'll be asking you, a bit like the equations, which way do you want your symbol? Does your symbol want to eat this number? Your greater than, less than symbol, or does it want to eat this number? Well, to work that out, you're going to have to make links. You're going to have to do some adding. So I would use my column method here to do my adding. So that would be 63. Here, 6 times 12. Well, I might want to use grid method, the classic partition that. 10 and 2, 6 times 10, 60, 6 times 2, 12, 72. So I don't know. What number do you think the greater than, less than sign? Remember, it's a crocodile that wants to eat the bigger food, so it definitely go this way. Okay, guys? So let's just recap a little bit. The greater than, less than symbol shows which number is bigger. So you often have 2 numbers on either side and then you draw it. Think of it like a crocodile with an open mouth, and it wants to eat the bigger number. So it will always be facing the bigger number. So here, 63, 72. Wants to eat the 72, so it's facing this way. Okay, good luck today, guys. Remember, if you need any help, send us a private message, okay, and we'll be there to help you.